Welcome back. We are approaching 7:25. You're watching BT Vancouver. Time now to check in with Mike Eppel, News 1130's business editor. Mike, we have some exciting news this morning. A record-breaking rebound for the Canadian labor market.
Yeah, it's better at least. And look, Mary, we got to put everything in perspective, though, because we had a record-breaking drop-off in the workforce, obviously, because the economy was shut down. People were losing jobs. You know, we still don't exactly know the entire tabulation of that, unless you go by the number of people who filed, applications for the emergency wage benefit or other government programs. Could be north of 5 or 6 million. Having said that, in June, the economy recuperated close to 1 million jobs, 953,000 to be exact. So we've saw a record-breaking drop, a record-breaking recovery, a 2-month gain of 1.2 million or thereabouts. So it's good. Long road to recovery, though. I mean, we've heard that, this week from the finance minister, Bill Morneau. The Stats Canada overview of the labor market statistics this morning saying the same thing. They were expecting a big bounce, and now the hard part begins to get the rest of the still 2 million jobs lost estimated back into the economy. BC had a good month, 118,000. Mm-hmm. Ontario led the way, 378,000. It was one of the last to reopen, and still nothing's really back to normal, right? No. It's still, feel this grind that that you got to get more things. Hotels, tourism, all this stuff, right? It's still a long way back. But it's better.
Fatigue, as you were saying.
It's better. Yeah, that's just it. Right? It's just over. It's like this overhang you feel, but it's better. So we'll go with the positive, okay?
Of course, yeah. Some people in my circle are starting to go back to work as well, so it's exciting. Right. Let's talk used cars. Used car prices in the U.S. are at record highs because Americans are shunning public transit.
America's a driving culture to begin with. Right? Anytime the price for gas drops, you see the sales of pickup trucks rise. So that's sort of maybe belie that a little bit. Nevertheless, in some cities, public transit use is down 50 to 75%. So that's an economic scenario in and of itself for what cities are going to have to do with a loss of revenue. But then you look at the used car market, it's through the roof because the auto companies have limited supply. All the plants were shut down, so their inventory's low. Here in Canada, it's the same thing. When we're talking about the new versus used car options you've got, if you want to buy a vehicle, it's tough to find. So you might go to the used car route, and the prices are up.
Our transit numbers here in Vancouver are starting to go up, too, because people need it to get around, right? A lot of people don't have cars.
They're eventually forced, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. One last story real quick. David's Tea closing. Yes. We talked about this earlier this week. Closing more than 80 Canadian stores.
Yeah, and they might actually close even more than that. They've got about 200. And they're basically saying, we'll keep them open, but we want to renegotiate the lease with the landlords at the shopping malls or the plazas. So this is another dynamic where some retail brands that say we can do our sales online might force the landlords to a better lease scenario for their properties. So that's certainly something to watch.
Okay, Mike, thank you so much for your time. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
All right. Talk then.
Approaching 7:30 now on Breakfast Television. Coming up, we have this story from Miranda Fatour.
In terms of sales,